Hi, it's Dawn, and I want to share how important it is what we put inside of our children's heads. Not one of you would feed your child garbage. Not one of you would put that on a plate in front of them and allow them to eat it. And yet, the world can put real garbage in our children's heads. I'm going to share a story that I think really makes this point beautifully. When my youngest son was a little boy, 7 years old, the only thing he wanted for his birthday was a dog. Now, we weren't that thrilled about this idea because, 7-year-olds, I'll feed him, I'll take care of him, all of that, but he was absolutely insistent on a dog. I took him to every rescue shelter, I took him everywhere. Finally, we found this magnificent puppy, big white ball of fur, and we named him Ozzie. And we brought Ozzie home. Now, Ozzie was a male. And the difficult thing about having a male puppy or a male dog is that they have this tendency to want to mark their territory, which I wasn't that thrilled about. So what we did was we put gates up to give Ozzie a little play area, but that he couldn't go around and mark every single corner of my house. Well, one particular day I walked by and Ozzie wasn't in his protected gates. And I thought, oh my goodness, where is he? And as I stepped out, opened the garage door, there was my son standing in the garage. He had Ozzie up over his head, and he drops the dog on the cement floor. Now you have to understand, this is not like my son Corbin. He is a gentle, kind, sweet young man, and I could not understand why he would drop this puppy on the floor. I ran over, checked the dog out, make sure that he was okay, and he was, thank goodness, fine. But I knelt down, and I took my son by the shoulders, and I looked at him, and I said, Corbin, what were you thinking? And he said, I wasn't thinking. I was watching Bart Simpson and Bart, they had a cat and they were throwing him off the roof and they were throwing him out the window of the car and they were throwing him everywhere and he was always landing on his feet. And they said cats always land on their feet. And I wanted to know if dogs always landed on theirs. And I realized I was letting Bart Simpson, without meaning to, teach my child values. I said, from now on, Corbin, we're going to be very careful about what we watch. And I want you to ask me any questions that you might have. So we're going to watch these programs together. And I went out to find the most extraordinary speakers, educators, inspirers that existed. One of the gentlemen that I found was named Les Brown. And this man is a magnificent man, and all of you will agree who have ever heard him speak. He's just a dynamic, magnificent speaker. And he was speaking to an audience, and we were watching one of his tapes. And he looked into that audience, and he said, do you know what I see when I look in your eyes? I see greatness. And my son Corbin turned around and looked at me and said, Mommy, what do you see when you look in my eyes? And I said, oh, Corbin, I see greatness. And that became our mantra every day. I would fix him breakfast and put breakfast in front of him, and I would say, you know what I see when I look in your eyes? And he'd go, yeah, greatness. I said, yes, I see greatness, but it's not enough to see greatness. You have to actually put an action toward that greatness. So what great thing are you going to do today? Well, it's about 5 months later. Ozzie's growing up. We're still keeping him as much as possible in the protective gates, but one day he escapes and he's tearing down the hallway and he runs through the laundry and he steals one of my shoulder pads and Corbin goes after Ozzie. Well, after the garage incident, I wanted to go after Corbin. Now I chase him all the way down the hall, around the corner, into the closet, and I'm standing there where I can see into the closet watching this. And this is what I saw. Corbin is wrestling with Ozzie and he's going, no, no, you can't kill my mom's shoulder pad. And he rescues the shoulder pad and he puts it up to safety. But then he takes the little dog and he puts his hands on each side of the little dog's face. And he says, Ozzie, do you know what I see when I look in your eyes? I see greatness. And I expect you to behave as a great dog would. And with that, he lifted up the puppy, put it under his arm, kissed it on the forehead. What we give our children, what we feed our children, what we tell our children, what goes into their minds, garbage in, garbage out, greatness in, greatness out. Make sure that whatever is going into your child's mind is great. and the chances of you raising an extraordinarily great adult increase by 100 times. Good luck. Greatness in, greatness out.